Kawasaki 1100 Zephyr. Full restoration required. Moves, doesn't move, moves. These particular carbs currently stink of stale fuel. So the probability is that the bike they're from hasn't run for a while. So my job is to get these carbs into superb condition so that hopefully that bike will zoom back to life and start singing its song like it did when it was new. So let's find out what's involved in overhauling a set of Kawasaki Zephyr 1100 carburetors. So what I've done now is I've gone round every single screw, every single one, and loosened everything off. Even these screws here, loosened every single one off, loosened all of the pilot air screws, every single one. Every single screw has been loosened off to make sure that when I start taking these apart, I'm not going to get stuck halfway with a bolt that won't come undone. Now what I need to do now is I need to remove this bar here, remove that bar there. That will allow those carbs to come apart in the middle. Then we'll have two separate banks, and then we can deal with each bank separately, strip each carburetor down on its own. So in order to do that, we've got to remove this choke rod, which is just a matter of undoing these screws, taking these screws out of the way, making sure that we note any washers or anything that are in position. They don't look like the original screws, but hey ho, they're the screws that it come with. Then we'll take that off. Then we'll disconnect this, disconnect the other one, and then we'll allow the two to come apart. So I'm going to take this off now. So removing this last bolt for the others, and then just lift this gently off. So making sure we know exactly what it's like. No washers underneath it. See, sometimes these have nylon washers, then the choke rod, then a nylon washer, then a little screw. I think this may have originally had that, but obviously it hasn't at the moment. There's normally a spring as well retained around there to the rod to help it come back, but not on these particular carbs. So next, disconnect all of these bolts here to take this bar off. Take the last bolt off and then carefully lift this off. Note which way it goes. It can only really go one way, but it's always a good idea to note which way it goes, because then when you come to rebuild, you're not going to end up mullering it. For example, you could put it that way, couldn't you, and get all mullered up. It doesn't go that way. So now we'll take off all these bolts. Take the last bolt off. Once again, lift it up. Make sure you know which way it goes. The cutouts are for the thing, because you can put it back that way. We can't really, but you know, if it can go that way, you'd always put it back that way, because Sod's Law says you never get it bloody right. Okay, so now we're now in a position where we can separate the carbs. So what we're looking at is what is there that we're going to come apart. Well, this here, look, this part here, that's going to come apart, plus that part there. See how that part there forms part of this carb's bell mouth? and that one there is this one. So that little spring that's under there may fly out. You're going to pull this out, that is going to come out. Watch this spring doesn't come out. What you could do is undo this screw here completely, so that you've got the minimum amount of pressure on that spring, because you don't want that spring to go AWOL, because if it does, you're going to have to look for it. So we nice and gently pull it apart. There you go. 2 banks of carbs. Notice that spring is just sitting there, so that can easily just pop off. So whatever you do, make sure you don't lose it. I'm going to put these carbs to one side, and then we're going to strip these ones down. So these are going to one side. So now we've got the 2. So we've got to do exactly the same thing with these 2. We've got to split them, so we end up with separate carbs. So once again, just unscrew this. This is your synchronizing screw. I mean, obviously people are going to go, it's out of sync. Well, we're going to synchronize it when we finish rebuilding it. Always do that. But I just want to relieve the pressure on that spring, so the spring doesn't go ding when you pull it. Now on this one, look, you've got exactly the same thing, but you've got like an air connector there and a fuel connector there. Plus, notice how you've got the throttle stop. So you can't take these 2 carbs apart until you've taken the throttle stop screw off of this end carb. So of course, if you didn't realise that, then it's going to be all sorts of grief. So the throttle stop is held on by these 2 screws here. So I'll just take these screws off, and then that throttle stop will be released, and then that can come off with the master carb. I'm just going to put those screws back in there loosely, because at the moment I don't want to lose them. I don't want the float bolt coming off. So now we just wiggle these apart. Oh dear, these are quite contaminated. Look at all that. Oh, green. These are going to be lovely carbs to rebuild. When you get a set of carbs and you can see that they definitely need restoring, it's so nice. It's a bit of a pain if you get something that's immaculate. I like something that's full of shit, so that then you know that you're going to be able to turn it into a beautiful set of carbs when it's finished. Now, and once again, there's that spring there. Be careful that spring doesn't go flying. I'm going to put this carb away, but also look at that there, little spring there, which must be in position when you rebuild it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put this carb away over here, and then this carb, this is the master carb. We're going to rebuild this carb completely. I'm just going to show you how this comes apart. What you've got to do the same thing on each carb, and then we'll run them through the cleaning situation. Right, so we're going to overhaul this carb and put all of the bits into this little box here, and then it'll be identical for all of the other carbs. Remove that spring into the box. Remove the throttle idle screw, and we'll put that in the box because that's going to be cleaned and checked to make sure that's okay before it eventually goes back. And the next thing is we're going to remove this screw here, which takes the throttle cable keep, and then undo the drain bolt. That's it. Then looking at the outside, nothing else really just at the minute. So now we're going to whip this top off and have a look at the diaphragm. We'll have a look. They really do stink. Put that in there. There's your spring. piston comes up. One of the pistons on one of the carbs is seized. Piston comes up, invert the piston and the needle should fall out with the keep. There's the keep, there's the needle. We're going to inspect all of this later. There's a burn mark there, look. It's a burn. I wonder what that's for. I wonder how that got burnt. So, the next thing is the float bowl. These screws have been undone. As I said, all the screws have been undone. So now taking them apart is actually a doddle, because it's just a matter of undoing them by hand, because you've done all the hard bit of loosening them off. Now let's have a look at this float bowl. Lift it up. Not too bad actually. Not too bad. Bone dry. Float. Remove the float by pushing this little pin out. Float should come up with the valve, which it does. All this is just going to be put to one side and then checked individually. Main jet. Undo the main jet. Undo the emulsion tube. And it takes a minute to strip a carb down, doesn't it? The time is cleaning everything. Now you'll find that there's a needle jet inside the carburetor. You need to get that out because that will be included in the kit. There it is. So one other jet in there, which is the pilot, down here. Bit tight, but not too bad. Was that off? That's it. Now the pilot air. Was that off? Oh dear, that looks a bit riled up, doesn't it? And seal, well there's a spring. All these will be replaced in the kit, so there's no need to worry about them. Oh, there you go. Washer and the O-ring. Got to get them out, because obviously if we don't get them out, they're still in there. So that's all the jets and everything completely removed. The float bowl actually inside, although it's a little bit riled up there, it's not that bad. We've got to remove the choke rod. Once again, this will probably be supplied in the kit, so we won't be too worried about the condition of it. Interesting to note, just in case there's any other problems which might come to light. So pretty much that there is that carb completely stripped. Not too bad, didn't find anything too horrendous, too difficult. Yeah, so that's ready now for cleaning. So what we'll do now is we'll do the other carbs and then we'll do an ultrasonic clean. And then after they've all been stripped, all been put in their own little bowls, basically they were a bit gummed up. They weren't riled up, but they were a bit gummed up. Hadn't been used for a while. Now look at the colour of that float on this end carb compared to the colour of the other floats. Notice how it's quite green. Well, the float valve in that one was stuck in there, so I had to pull that out. That was obviously quite gummed up. Look at that emulsion tube. That's quite yeah. So these carbs have had a bit of a time sitting around doing nothing, but the good thing is a decent kit's on its way. One of the diaphragms is split. It's got a little tiny split in it, so I'm going to have to replace one of the diaphragms, but the others don't look too bad. I haven't done a full inspection yet, just sort of like that's a casual glance. But yeah, so now the next thing is to segregate every single bit and then put the main bodies and whatever, the float bowls, whatever, in the ultrasonic cleaner, and then we'll clean all the individual bits that are going to be used again, assess them, and then any bits that we need that are outside the kit that's coming, I'll have to source them and get those here for the rebuild. So yeah, moving on. All the bits now cleaned, everything tickety-boo, nothing extraordinary there, just cleaned everything up, bodies and float bowls, ultrasonic bound any minute, and here we have all of the parts which we are going to replace when we get the kit. The interesting thing is, this carb had 98 main jet. This carb had 100 main jet. Well, that's right, the middle two have 100 and the outer ones have 98. This one, 98. This one, 100. So somehow they've been mixed up at some point in its life. The needles are all the same, so you know everything's a-okay. They're all going to be replaced, all of these parts, including the emulsion tube in this kit that I'm getting, which is good. So don't really have to worry too much about them. So yeah, not too bad. Waiting now for the ultrasonic. From stale fuel soaked carcass via the ultrasonic cleaner into gleaming machines. After a session in the ultrasonic, you can see the difference that it makes. They no longer stink of stale fuel, and they're now ready to be rebuilt. There you go then, that is the completion of the strip down and clean up of the Zephyr carbs. The next video will show you the actual rebuild, restoration, and right the way through. Okay, so hope this has been of some use to you. Take care, see you soon, and bye.